Wrestling this year has been a bit strange. There were no fans, and then various promotions have been able to bring back fans gradually, and now full crowds are coming back, and independent promotions are roaring back. So we get a cornucopia of options where we get to see some local independent talents, we get to see some other great talents fly in for one shot, and we also get to see the big companies succeed. The whole point is that wrestling in 2021, while it has certainly been up and down and all around and come on defense work, there has been some good stuff, and now we can look forward to what 2022 will bring. And with that, I'm John Ritland, and these are my 10 wrestlers to look out for in 2022. Leave your favorites, leave your choices in the comments, please. This is going to be a mixture of talents from independent promotions and also just talents that I feel really deserve the spotlight. Roxanne, turn on the red light. Roxanne, wait, no, that's wrong. Anyway, so honorable mentions include Toxic Attraction, because Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and Jacy Jayne have certainly been a few of the bright spots as far as a stable in NXT 2.0. And also there's Abaddon. Abaddon. Sorry, can't help it. The Inspiration, the former Iconics who are succeeding well in Impact. Jonah, the former Bronson Reed, Chris Dickinson, and there we go. So, now we get to the top 10. So, with the Rebel Kell, she's number 10. Rebel Kell, who wrestles locally here at various, as part of various promotions. I saw her at a few Without a Cause shows. She also wrestles in other states. The 6-foot stunner for a reason. She has a great look, and she can throw some really, really great kicks. And she has some great fire, some great energy, and you want to see more of her when you see her in the ring. I saw her against the real mean girl, Danny Jordan, at a show a couple months ago. And I've been a fan of Rebel Kell since seeing her at a show a couple of years ago. She's improved dramatically, and hopefully will get featured more and more. Maybe AEW can bring her in for a few shots on some Dark and Dark Elevation tapings, because she has the poise, she has the ability, and she has gotten better. So I think we're going to see some big things for her in 2022. And now we move on to number 9, Jacob Fatu. Okay, so Jacob Fatu is probably a more well-known name than maybe a few others on this list, but Jacob Fatu is fucking tremendous. Got to meet the guy at a show a couple of years ago. He's an intimidating son of a bitch. Nice guy. Really, really nice guy. How he does that, springboard moonsault, I have no fucking idea. And he hits it with precision. He's a great fucking worker. A huge monster. When he tells you to move, goddammit, you fucking move. Or you're going to go flying. But Jacob Fatu, he's fucking great. Had a great match against Alexander Hammerstone at an MLW show recently. The name escapes me right now. I do apologize. But Fatu, he's fucking great. I mean, just looking at how talented he is, he has that mean face about him, but he really just has great ability. As a big guy, he can move around like a freaking cat. He has great agility, he has great fire, and I mean, whatever he does, sticks in MLW, does independent appearances, whatever he decides to do, 2022 is going to be a big year for him, because it has to be. With as good as he is, and with as much just unfucking tap potential as Jacob Fatu has, he has to have a big year. And hopefully in not just MLW, but all over. And if I get the chance to see him again next year, I'll be absolutely thrilled, because the guy's fucking tremendous. And now we move on to Powerhouse Hobbs, part of Team Taz, and of course, with Hobbs, you must have Hook, which apparently people enjoy me saying Hook. I don't know why, probably because, one, I sound like an owl having an orgasm, an owlgasm, if you will. Have fun on seeing that. And it's making fun of Tony Schiavone, because that's how he said it at Revolution, when he said, and here's Hook. I don't know why he said it like that, but in all honesty, I like Schiavone. But Powerhouse Hobbs, from the first time I saw him, on a couple of the earlier AEW shows, during the pandemic, I was like, shit, this guy's got something. He really does have something. Now, you could say they might have hotshot him as far as, featuring him a little bit before he's ready, but he's got that expression. He's got, just that snarl on his face. And he doesn't have to do a lot, but he does it really well. He hits the powerhouse moves really well. Ironic, because his name is Powerhouse Hobbs, but he's gotten better. He's gotten better as being more poised in the ring. And being part of Team Taz, he just has that look. He has that, you want to see more of what he can do, and Hobbs is quite good. And hopefully, he faced off against CM Punk on a recent Rampage show, and that was pretty good, all things considered. And he had a good match against Dante Martin, where it looked like, Hobbs might have actually gotten, a bit knocked loopy, but Hobbs is quite good, whether he's in a 30-second squash match, whether he's teaming with Ricky Starks, whatever he's doing, this guy is really, really good. I mean, they found a diamond in the rough here. They found somebody who's quite good. Kind of reminds me of when I first saw Bear Country, except I think Hobbs has an even bigger upside than Bear Country. So we go to number 7, Nick Wayne. Buddy Wayne's kid. I saw Nick Wayne at some early Without a Cause shows, and he's not even 18 yet. This guy is, I mean, I could say kid, but this guy, just young man, and my fucking goodness, I cannot sing his praises enough. I will sing his praises, for the foreseeable future, because one, Pacific Northwest guy, he's the prince of the Pacific Northwest, as he said, facing or staring down Alex Shelley after beating Lee Moriarty at a Without a Cause show. And Lee Moriarty definitely is somebody to keep your eye on as well. But Nick Wayne, from seeing how he was as far as just, 14, getting in the ring, how great he is. He hits a great cutter off the ropes. He's got great ability, great agility. He was, part of the team with a guy named Jaden, who is also really good as well. Shout out to Jaden for being a tremendous talent. But Nick Wayne has absolutely just had a skyrocketing 2021 since shows have come back. He's competed on GCW shows. And while deathmatch wrestling maybe isn't my cup of tea, Nick Wayne has shown that, hey, you don't need to be, like, you can have the bloodlines, but you have to have the ability to just rise up and prove your worth. And my God, has he ever. And just super nice, super humble also, and tall. God damn, I mean, he's fucking taller than me. I'm not that tall. He's fucking tall. But Nick Wayne is a bright, bright star, fucking supernova as far as I'm concerned. And considering he's only 16, he's going to be taking on Alex Shelley next month at a Without a Cause show that I'll be going to, or a little bit later in December, depending on when you're watching this. That guy's really, really fucking good. I mean, Nick Wayne is fucking tremendous. I cannot sing his praises enough. I just got this shirt from him. He happened to have one in my size. When I went to the indie show just a couple days ago, and the guy's so fucking good. He's really, really fucking good. And just watching somebody that good, that young, and knowing and just seeing the future and just seeing what he's a good 20-year career. 25-year career, depending on how long he wants to do this. He is born to do it. He's bred for it. And he has the humbleness and the respect for wrestling, and it shines through. And I absolutely just love seeing the success that Nick Wayne has had. So, Nick Wayne is definitely somebody to keep your eye on. He's a little bit lower on this list. No disrespect to anybody here, but I mean, the reason he's number 7 is because I've seen enough of his stuff where I'm like, okay, I want to praise a few other people that maybe haven't had as much TV time or haven't as much exposure. And Nick Wayne, when he gets to appear on AEW programming and WWE, whatever he wants to appear on, Impact, anything, he is going to shine. Even if it's like a 2-3 minute squash, he is going to be somebody to keep your fucking eye on. And Nick Wayne may get featured, on future lists because he's just that goddamn good. Now we move on to number 6, Lee Moriarty. I see why people praise Lee Moriarty. I had heard the name, and then when I saw him on AEW programming, even in like a 3-4 minute squash match, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's good. Where has this guy been hiding? And Lee Moriarty is very, very good. Him and Nick Wayne had a match, just as I said before. Great, great technical wrestling. Lee with tremendous kicks, tremendous poise as himself. Poise tends to be the, the prevalent theme here as far as untapped potential. But Lee is very, very good. And I absolutely, cannot wait to see what he's going to do on AEW programming and at various, in various indie shots, whatever he decides to do. He is really, really good. And I'm definitely glad that AEW brought him in. He is going to be somebody to keep your eye on. As far as technical wizardry, he can come up with stuff where I'm just like, I'm like scratching my head. How do you do that? How did he do any of that? But it's just really good, really natural. And he's young enough to where like a lot of good years are ahead for him. Now move on to number 5. Oh, she's Kylan King. And okay, I don't know the rest of the ways to tap the lyrics into this segue. So I'm just going to move on from it. Okay, sorry. Kylan King, who I was impressed with as far as a look at first. She had the look. It's a statuesque look. And I mean that with respect. And just seeing, I was like, okay, more of her, please. Let's see what she can do. And, at first she was showing a little bit, but, getting beat and everything. And then was getting a little bit more time. was part of tag teams, was getting better because I think she's only a couple of 2-3 years into her career, and she's got good fire to her. She really does. She's got very good ability. She hits some nice top rope stuff, has some good strikes. Kingdom Falls, that's a pretty good finisher. But she has a really good look for wrestling, and I've been very impressed with what I've seen from Kylan King. I mean, for what my opinion's worth, I'm just one fan. These are just my opinions. I'm certainly not going to claim to be the biggest fan of any of these particular people. I'm just one fan, but I want to sing their praises, and I want to sing Kylan King's praises because I can absolutely see her being, I think she's training in Nightmare Factory now, so she's being featured a little bit here and there as far as like on their Dark Universal Studios tapings as she gets better and better. And I think 2022, maybe it might be closer to the midpoint, but I think she could be, she could be featured along more AEW programming. And she also does stuff for Mission Pro Wrestling, which I try to check out when I can. That's run by Thunder Rosa and various other women that, are all just getting in on this action to make that a good independent promotion. Of what I've seen, they have certainly done that. Kylan King, though, very good. Sky is the limit. Now we move on to number 4, Dante Martin. I'm going to basically keep this praise light because I praise him on other reviews. But Dante, I was impressed with Top Flight. Like, him and Darius are a good team. And I think once Darius comes back, which I hope is soon. I really hope that Darius comes back soon, but I know he's recovering from a knee injury. Dante, a lot of people do flips. A lot of people do this action where it's like, oh, they're doing all this craziness. Dante makes it look effortless. And he's really, really good. Dante's really good. He could be a champion next year. He absolutely could. Tag team champion or whatever. Hey, maybe they could get, they could have Dante and Hook win the tag titles. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the Hook thing for now. Until one of the other lists. Maybe it'll pop up in the Dynamite review. Also, Hook. So I'm done with that because I kind of owlgasmed my voice out of there. Have fun on seeing that too. Dante Martin, very, very good. Really enjoy watching his stuff, and I will definitely be, watching him, watching just about anything he does. Like, I can't obviously see everything, but if he's on Dark Elevation, Dynamite, Rampage, a pay-per-view, I think he deserves, even if it's a multi-man match, he deserves to be part of a pay-per-view coming up because Dante has absolutely improved. He wows audiences, and with this turn being part of Team Taz, who knows how long that'll last. He can be somebody that will be, he's only like 21. I think he's the younger of the two. Dante's got it. And he's going to get even better. You know what? Fuck it. Give me Nick Wayne versus Dante Martin on a mainstream broadcast in 2022, you coward. Give it to me in an indie show. I don't care because those guys will wow everybody. Number 3. This number is legitimate. Is legit Layla Hirsch. She was part of one of my favorite matches in the NWA this year. Once the NWA relaunched, it was kind of dodgy. More on that when I do my favorite and least favorite matches lists. But Layla Hirsch had a match against Camille at NWA Empower that was phenomenal. It was great stuff. It was Layla using her, her power and the compact nature of her to she had to duck and dodge everything against the taller and, much more statuesque Camille. But it was a great effort by both. And Camille is not the best in the ring, but when featured with the right people, she can create some good magic. And that's what her and Layla did. I really enjoyed the match and actually thought it was one of the highlights of the weekend. And Layla deserves a lot of credit for that, as well as Camille, because it does take two to tango. But Layla is very good. She basically exposed Jade Cargill on an episode of Dynamite or Rampage because Jade isn't ready yet. She's not ready. And Layla wrestled circles around her. And Layla's only been wrestling for 3 to 4 years. But Layla is quite good. And I had to sing her praises because she is somebody that AEW could absolutely feature a lot better. Definitely better than in multi-person matches. Even though it is going to take more time with her, she's not quite there yet. She's got great ability. The way she can get that arm breaker, that cross arm breaker on anybody from any position, that's some good shit. And she also hits a hell of a moonsault. Number 2, Dashing Chris Bay. He was part of Without a Cause for a while and a tag team and then became the Without a Cause champion. They would have called it the WAC Championship, which is a name I promise you I would have reacted to with the good taste and maturity that you all come to expect from me. And if you believe that, you haven't been paying attention to this list at all. But Dashing Chris Bay, He's been part of Impact. He's now part of Bullet Club. And I will do that with respect and reverence to Chris Bey because great guy. Met him a few times. Hell of a talent. Has great fire. Whether he's a good guy, whether he's bad, he does seem to really enjoy being a bad guy, and he's really punched it up on the mic, done some good stuff, and Dashing Chris Bey is very, very good. I'm so happy for his success. Impact has him. Hopefully he can appear on some New Japan Strong programming. AEW really needs to try to bring him in for some shots, depending on the contract stuff, whatever, because Chris Bey is somebody that deserves a big spotlight on him. He's really good, and he's only in his mid-20s, I think, at the most. And he's already this good. I mean, imagine how good he's going to be just in a few more years. But he is a really bright star. But number one, Rex Steiner. That's his name. None of this Braun Breaker bullshit. Rex Steiner. He has been wrestling since February of this year. Of this year. Let me say that again. Of this year. And that's how good he is. Rex Steiner is fucking phenomenal. Obviously, there's going to be times where he's going to stumble. He did stumble, coming off the ropes against Ciampa. That'll happen. But looking at Rex Steiner and just looking at, you close your eyes, you hear a mixture of Rick and Scott. Like, you just hear that in the promos and everything. He has the promos already. He's taken to it. Like, yes, obviously, he's taken to it like a natural. People obviously are feeding for him and guiding him and everything, people that have more experience, but you have to be able to, for every Rex Steiner, there is a heavy metal Von Wagner. Rex Steiner is here. Von Wagner is about where the Wrecking Crew was in the AWA in 1990. If you know anything about late AWA, it wasn't very high, except in, deficits. But Rex Steiner is really, really good. I am recording this a bit before War Games, just depending on when this goes up, but I will say that for somebody that just started, appearing on NXT programming from the reboot, he's only been on TV for just about 2.5 months. And he's already got it. Now, is everything perfect? No, but he's taken to it like a fish to goddamn water. You can lead a horse to water, and you can make him drink, because this is a fucking stallion of a goddamn talent, and he is really good. And obviously, there are more people. Let me know, once again, in the comments, your favorite people to look out for in 2022. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin, and I'll see you soon.